Have you, Tom, since you know this offense better than anybody of the other three quarterbacks who are all new, have you found yourself at times taking a front and center role to, do they ask you things that, they can ask Dable and ask Kafka, but you're the quarterback. They kind of like, yeah, I know this, I've been here.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say I take a front and center role. I let the coaches do their thing. They have a process for everything and the way that they're going about it, especially this offseason. Everything's kind of been from the ground up kind of thing, rebuilding, especially with 3 new quarterbacks in the room, teaching them everything from the basics. So for myself, it's been more on the field, outside of the film room, when they come talk to me, because it's different from someone who's played in the offense before and been back there, not just behind a clicker, if you will. No disrespect to any coaches, but it is different. So I try to give my 2 cents.
And any example you could offer that Russ or one of these guys said to you, like, what are you seeing here? What am I supposed to be looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, not so much what you're looking at. It's more of a feel for how things are, because when things are on lines, and obviously Jameis and Russ have played a ton of football, but it's really about how it looks and feels on the field. So it's really before they get to feel it for themselves on the field. It's kind of that feedback, which has been very good.
What's this offseason been like for you? Just kind of watching the QB room be rebuilt around you and just kind of going through that process.
Yeah, it's been cool. Obviously, there's a lot of different personalities, as I'm sure you guys have all seen, but it meshes together very well. Like I said, Russ and James have been around for a while. Russ has his deal. Everybody saw the handshake with me and Jameis yesterday, right? His hair and then doing his thing. Like, he's a bottle of energy, if you will. And then Jax, just came in. He's a swaggy dude too. So to have everybody in the room, everybody's very competitive, and it brings out the best in us. And I'm looking forward to see where it goes.
You say Jackson's a swaggy dude. Like, what's kind of that attitude like for a young rookie coming in? Like, what are you seeing from him with that?
Yeah, you have to have that. I mean, for any quarterback, I think you have to have that confidence, especially here in this market with how New York and the fans and everybody is around it. You have to have that kind of confidence, because the minute you go on Twitter or something and read something, everything can go downhill. So for him to have that coming in, you want to keep him high with that confidence. No matter if he makes a mistake, he's going to make mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes, so did everybody else. You make a mistake, you're right there, pat him like, you're good, bro. Move on to the next one. So for him to have that at this point and continue to have that during training camp, preseason, and when the season comes, it's going to be huge for him.
How is the room? I mean, it's you got some personalities in there. Is it fun? Is it interesting? Is it a little weird? How is the room?
It's very fun. I would say we enjoy ourselves in there. It's definitely work comes first, as it always does, but it's definitely fun. We go out, we get dinner all the time, we do different things outside of the facility, but I think, like I said, everything meshes very well with, I don't want to say they're older, but Jameis and Russ being a little bit older and me and Jackson being on the younger side, it's a fun blend. They have wives, families, that whole thing. Me and Jax don't. It's been me and Jax might go on Love Island. We've talked about it. So you really don't know what's about to happen.
What's your approach to the competition and, the reps that you're getting?
Yeah, I mean, control what I can control. Nobody in our quarterback room, no players can control that. Obviously, we can with our play, but the coaches make the decisions. When your number is called, you go out and make the most of it. Kind of the same deal that's happened since I've been here. Stay down, keep working, grinding until my time is to go. And then when that time comes, I do my thing. But until then, control, be the best teammate, and help everybody around me.
Are you guys watching Love Island together?
We have. I can't say we do it every night, but from time to time when we get it off day, yeah, we watch it, we talk about it. Good.
Do you still see a future for yourself here?
For sure. I mean, the plan has always been to be here, especially when I was a rookie. So trying to continue that for as long as possible. And then, we'll see what goes from there. But right now I'm focused on the present and where I am and be where my feet are. So right now I'm about to go enjoy this break and then come back for training camp. And then we'll go from there.
You having Jackson over your house? Mom's cooking?
No, not yet. I've taken him to a ton of Italian restaurants though. We went on a kick with a lot of restaurants. It's kind of been a thing. We need to make a list at this point. But no, not to the house yet, but he will be.
What does he think about the Italian restaurants you think?
He knows how to eat. I'll tell you that. But so does Jameis and so does Russ. Listen, no, not yet. Not yet. That'll come at some point. But Russ and Jameis have been around for a while too. Okay, they're well off. So they take care of most of them, honestly. But yeah, no, he's loved it. I know he's been in New York before Jax, and he's probably had a ton of good food, but there's nothing quite like the New Jersey, New York food market. I don't know, I might be biased, but I think it's the best in the world.
Tommy, is this for you? Just mentioned Russ specifically. I mean, obviously Jameis too. You've watched for years and been in this league, but to now be in this room with guys you've played with the last couple of years, but now it's this is Russell Wilson. Like when you were in high school, you were watching this guy. Imagine over here, winning the Super Bowl, you were paying attention. What is that like, having him come here? I mean, everybody's talking about his presence and what he means, but for somebody who sees it, you play the same position, but there's got to be a little awe, respect. What do you think about that relationship?
For sure. I still tell him I'm kind of mad at him. That whole Super Bowl deal, the roads were closed around here. Everything was so packed when everything was going on. But honestly, Russ is a really genuine dude. We kind of ties back to when I was transferring out of Syracuse, going to Illinois, and my head coach at the time was Brett Bielema, who also took Russell as a transfer from NC State, where Russ was the first ever college transfer. So I was really sold on Russ back then from my head coach, Coach B, really sold me on him and that whole process and how that went. So I've always been a fan since I was younger, and just to see him operate on a day-to-day, like everybody says everybody's a professional, right? Everybody's a real pro, but like if I had to put a person to it, it's Russ. Like the way he just handles his everyday business on the field, off the field, like the way he talks to you with intent, like it's at a different level than I've seen before, and I'm really appreciative to be around him for the past couple of months and be able to learn that, because for me it's taking in as much as I can, so trying to take a little bit day by day the more that I'm around him.